At 78, Barry Gibb finally breaks his silence on John Lennon, and what he reveals is unlike anything fans have heard before. For decades, the Bee Gees legend kept his thoughts private about one of music's most iconic figures. Now, after a lifetime in the spotlight, Barry offers a raw, honest look at Lennon, not just the cultural icon, but the man behind the myth. Barry Allen Crompton Gibb was born on the 1st of September, 1946, on the Isle of Man, a small island between England and Ireland. His early years were anything but settled. The Gibb family moved several times, from the Isle of Man to Manchester, England, and then all the way to Redcliffe, Queensland, Australia. These moves shaped Barry's childhood and planted the seeds for what would become a legendary music career. From a young age, Barry showed an extraordinary gift for music. Alongside his brothers Maurice and Robin, he started writing songs almost instinctively, as if they shared a secret language. Their voices blended together in a way that felt almost psychic, creating harmonies that would define an era. In Australia, the brothers formed what would become the Bee Gees. They worked tirelessly, performing in small clubs and honing their sound. Their hard work paid off as they began to attract attention for their unique blend of pop, rock, and soulful melodies. It was the start of a journey that would take them from humble beginnings to international stardom. Barry's talent wasn't just in singing, it was in crafting songs that spoke to millions. His signature falsetto became instantly recognizable, a voice that could soar with emotion and bring a dance floor to life. Hits like "Stayin' Alive," "How Deep Is Your Love," and "Night Fever" weren't just songs. They were anthems that defined the disco era and still resonate today. But Barry's genius didn't stop with the Bee Gees. He wrote and produced chart-topping hits for some of the biggest names in music, from Dolly Parton and Kenny Rogers' unforgettable duet, "Islands in the Stream," to Dionne Warwick's soulful "Heartbreaker." His ability to move effortlessly between genres pop, soul, country proved he was more than a star. He was a musical force. With over 220 million records sold worldwide, Barry's influence is undeniable. The Bee Gees didn't just dominate charts, they shaped the sound of a generation. Yet, behind the glitter and fame, Barry remained dedicated to his craft, known for his relentless work ethic and passion for perfection. Each melody was carefully shaped, every lyric filled with emotion. That's what made his music timeless. Despite all the success and fame, Barry's life has been marked by deep personal losses. The deaths of his brothers Andy in 1988, Maurice in 2003, and Robin in 2012 left him as the last surviving Gibb brother. Each loss struck a heavy blow, not just to Barry personally, but to the legacy they had built together. Losing the siblings with whom he shared such a profound creative bond was heartbreaking. Barry has spoken openly about the pain of outliving his brothers, the silence that followed, and the weight of carrying the Bee Gees' legacy alone. Yet, rather than retreat, Barry found strength in their memory. He kept performing, recording, and honoring their music with unwavering devotion. His resilience shines through in his later work, including his 2016 solo album, In the Now, which revealed a more introspective side. It's a testament to how he channels grief and loss into art, turning pain into music that connects deeply with listeners. Barry's story isn't just about fame. It's about survival, love, and the power of family. Barry's life off stage has been just as meaningful as his music. He first married Maureen Bates in 1966, when he was just 19 and still finding his place in the rapidly changing world of fame. Though their marriage was brief and ended by 1970, it marked a significant period in Barry's early adulthood. Shortly after, fate stepped in during a taping of Top of the Pops in London. Barry met Linda Gray, a former Miss Edinburgh, whose calm and supportive presence would change his life. They married on Barry's 24th birthday in 1970, beginning a partnership that has lasted over 5 decades, rare and remarkable in the entertainment world. Together, Barry and Linda raised 5 children. Their eldest, Stephen Gibb, followed in his father's footsteps, carving out a career as a guitarist with bands like Black Label Society. The family has remained close-knit, a foundation of love and loyalty that has carried Barry through the highs and lows of fame. Though Barry has lived primarily in the United States since the mid-1972, he maintained strong ties to his British roots. He and Linda became naturalized American citizens in 2009 but kept their British citizenship, embracing a dual identity that reflects both past and present. Through it all, family remains at the heart of Barry Gibb's life. Barry's admiration for John Lennon began long before they ever met. As a teenager in the early 1962, Barry and his brothers were electrified by the Beatles' raw energy and revolutionary sound. Hearing songs like Please Please Me and She Loves You wasn't just exciting, it was life-changing. Lennon wasn't just a singer, he was a symbol of artistic freedom and fearless innovation. Their first encounter came at a music industry party in London in the late 1962. Barry recalls feeling nervous as Lennon entered the room, his presence magnetic and impossible to ignore. But what surprised Barry most wasn't Lennon's fame, it was his sharp intellect and unexpectedly warm sense of humor. Lennon could be biting in public, but in private, he showed a tender, thoughtful side. Lennon even complimented the Bee Gees on their vocal blend, calling it beautifully strange, a remark Barry treasured for decades. While their careers followed different paths, Barry suspected Lennon respected the Bee Gees' ability to evolve, especially as they embraced disco. Though Barry never asked Lennon directly, friends of Lennon later confirmed that he admired their songwriting talents. John Lennon was known for his sharp tongue and biting wit, and not all of it was kind toward the Bee Gees. Barry recalls a radio interview where Lennon made dismissive comments about the group, words that stung deeply at the time. But with years of distance and reflection, Barry understands those remarks came from a complicated place. Lennon was fighting his own battles, struggling with fame, identity, and personal pain. His sarcasm and irony acted as shields to keep people at arm's length. Barry no longer holds a grudge, but instead feels sympathy for a man who often pushed others away before they could get too close. In fact, Lennon's brutal honesty inspired Barry in unexpected ways. After meeting John, Barry stopped trying to please everyone and began making music that felt real and meaningful to him first. That raw authenticity became a turning point for the Bee Gees, helping them grow beyond pop and disco into something more. The news of John Lennon's death hit Barry like a thunderbolt. He was in a Miami studio when he heard the shocking announcement. "It felt like the world just stopped," Barry later said. For him, it wasn't just the loss of a fellow musician, it was the loss of a cultural giant whose voice had inspired millions. That night, Barry admitted he cried not just for Lennon's family but for an entire generation who saw Lennon as a beacon of truth and hope. Lennon's death left a silence that echoed far beyond the music world, marking the end of an era defined by fearless creativity and social change. For Barry, Lennon's passing was deeply personal. Despite their complicated relationship, Barry recognized the enormous impact Lennon had on his own life, and the music they both helped shape. It was a moment of grief, reflection, and profound respect. Now, in his late 70s, Barry Gibb sees John Lennon not as an untouchable legend, but as a man flawed, brilliant, brave, and deeply human. He reflects on how Lennon challenged the world to think harder, feel deeper, and never stop asking questions. For Barry, those lessons left a lasting mark. Their brief connection pushed Barry to be more authentic in his own music. "After talking with John, I stopped trying to please everyone," Barry said. "The music had to be real. It had to mean something to me first." This honesty helped the Bee Gees evolve beyond their pop roots into something far more meaningful. Barry's tribute is more than admiration, it's a rare glimpse of respect and vulnerability between two artists who shaped generations. In finally telling the truth about Lennon, Barry offers a powerful reminder that behind every icon is a human story worth hearing. Barry Gibb's story is woven deeply into the fabric of modern music, just as John Lennon's is. Their lives, though different in many ways, share a common thread, a commitment to honesty, creativity, and risk. Barry's reflections reveal how true artistry demands more than talent. It requires courage to be vulnerable and real. As Barry carries the Bee Gees' legacy into the future, his tribute to Lennon stands as a testament to the power of connection between artists who dare to challenge the status quo. It's a reminder that music isn't just entertainment, it's a force that shapes culture and touches souls. In the end, Barrie's words encourage us all to look beyond the myths and see the humanity in those who change the world. Because it's in that humanity where the real story lies and where the greatest truths are found.